Hello, good morning. So, the continuation of our videos. So, I'll just show you one or two that we have done in the system. So, we are trying to demonstrate product costing, which some certain configuration has been done in the system. So, to do multiple product costing or to do a single uh, costing on a product, today's single costing on a product, we use CK11N, CK11N. And then we can as well use the path to go to the path. We can also use the path to go to accounting, go to controlling, go to product costing, product cost controlling, right? Go to product costing planning, go to material costing, then you go to costing run. So you see CK40N editing costing run. This for multiple products. If you want to cost for multiple products, and if you want to cost for single product, you use CK11N. Yes. Okay, so this is the screen. This is the final screen we are coming to. This is where we want to cost our product, right? Assuming we want to cost for a single product. We have created a product called cake. We assume we want to produce a cake, right? And we assume our plant is this, and we assume our our costing variant is this. There are some prerequisites that must have been done before you get to this place. You must have created a plant, and to create a plant is under material management. Let's open that screen. Let's run it on another screen. So first of all, I will show you the material we have created. To show you a material, use MM01 MM01 to create a material. If you want to create a fresh material, this is how to create a fresh material in the system. But before you create a material, this is domiciled in the material management environment. So you must have done some certain configuration before you can create a material, right? So to create a material, let's assume I want to create what do you call it? Orange juice. Orange juice. Orange juice. I'll call the material orange juice. What sector? I'll put it as food industry. I'll click enter. Enter material type. Okay, so I'll click on what type of material type. Is it a finished product? Yes, it's a finished product. Orange juice is a finished product. So I've created this material type for myself. Adam's finished product. Adam's raw material. So all these things must have been configured in the system. Where do we configure all these things? So you can always I'm not sure I'll be able to show you all the configuration, but I'll just show you bits of it. So all these things, industry sector, you must have created a system for you to be able to pick the industry, the material type as well. You must have configured it in the back end before you be able to see it on the front end side. If I click enter, it will take me to this field. What field do I want to maintain? Do I want to maintain basic data, purchasing other text? Do I want to maintain accounting view? So I will just uncheck this so that we will not waste our time on it. I'll just uncheck it. So I will uncheck this as well. I'll uncheck this. But there are some parameters that are very important, like purchasing actually, costing for accounting purposes and for controlling management accounting purposes. Costing 1, 2 is very important. Accounting 1, accounting 2 is very important. So I'll just go inside and I'll put my plant. So before you can create a material as well, you must have created a plant. You must have created plants. And yeah, you can always put the description orange juice. But this thing we are doing is domiciled in the what they call in the material management point of view. So we can use liter. We can use liter since it's a liquid. We can use liter. So I'll just click enter. So I'll click enter. So I'll just validation class. So again, like I said, validation class, another part. This validation class is something that's very important that needs to be created in the system. You must have configured in its system. So since I've picked the material type, which is finished product, it's already picking the validation class, which is for finished product. You can see I've created one in the system for finished product. It has already seen it and it has picked it. So and base unit, all these things needs to be picked. So now here we selected price control indicator, which is S. S is standard pricing. For finished product, S is what is required to be imputed. S is what is required to be maintained. If it is, you can also select moving average. You can only select moving average, but for finished product, it is should be standard pricing because you cannot use what is moving average. V. There is something. The V is moving average. V is moving average. While S is standard price. The V is also called weighted average. Yeah, it's also called weighted average. So the S is a standard pricing. Yeah. So for item that is a finished product, you cannot use a moving average. What do you call it? Accounting valuation or inventory valuation to it. You cannot use moving average for it. You can only use a standard pricing. Had it been now, for example, if you to produce a finished product orange juice, to produce a finished product orange juice, you need orange, right? You need orange ball. You need orange. You need sugar, right? These are raw material. These are raw material. So those ones now can carry, they can carry moving average, which is V, right? So that's explanation to this. But these things are done by the material management guys. It is not the FI or the CO guys that done this, that usually do this rather. So I'll just click enter. Now it asks me for standard pricing. I'll just put one. So local currency, it must have picked the local currency correct. This NGN. So I can go ahead and save this now. But under accounting, like I said, under costing, you see, these are parameters that are important under costing. And under costing two, that's where you see under this costing two, okay, profit center. I need to indicate profit center. I'll just put this profit center. I've created this profit center before now. So you see under this costing two here, you have future, current, and previous. So under this environment, you can see standard costing, that standard cost estimate, cost estimate. This part is where you see the pricing for the material. The only time you see this is when you have done your costing run. That's using CK11N. The only time you see parameter or values here is when you have done your CK11N. So you see the plant price, you see the current price, you see the previous price. Now it's carrying one here. Standard price carrying one because I've indicated one there as the standard price. That's why it's saying current price is one. You understand? And that's just a brief explanation about the master data on material. Master data on material. So I'll just save this. So I've saved this material orange juice. Assuming I've created orange juice. Assuming I've done some setup for orange juice. You see, this is the material we just created, orange juice. Like I want to cost orange juice. Before I cost orange juice, there are some certain things that need to have been done. Since we are doing create material cost estimate with quantity structure. When they say quantity structure, cost estimate with quantity structure, what it means that you must have done your billing. I'll just go there one leg. So I'll come to the quantity structure. So you must have done your billing, that is BOM, bill of material. You must have done your bill of material and you must have done your routing. You must have done your bill of material and routing. What's bill of material? Bill of material is simply the material that is required to use, or the raw material that is required to be used for the product to be produced, right? The raw material that is required to use for the finished product to be produced. Like for example, now you need for you to produce an orange juice, which is the finished material that we created. We created a material called finished product called orange juice, right? For you to be able to produce it, you need on an orange, right? You need orange, you need sugar. Orange and sugar are raw materials. So this will be found under the bill of material. To get to the bill of material, I think I should show you an Excel sheet that I prepared some time ago. Let me see. Okay, I guess you should do this. So to do bill of material, there's a T code to do a bill of material. So I'll just I'm not sure this is it. Okay, I think this bill of material. No, okay. 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 This was the previous one I was trying to demonstrate. You have bill of material on cake. You have flour, sugar, eggs, butter, milk, baking powder, vanilla extract, frosting ingredient. These are bill of material, right? These are the components, the raw material that is required to do to produce a cake. You talk about the quantity, the measurements, the that. Then we talk about activity that is required to produce a cake. You talk about baking, you talk about cooling, you talk about mixing of ingredients. Don't let me. Uh, I don't want to. So this is where I'm coming now. This is where I'm coming. So okay, no, not this place. Okay, so this is one of the this is one of the sheets I used in training someone some time ago. So if you want to create, so we're somewhere, we're here. We said if you want to create a bill of material, that is bomb. Bill of material is domiciled in the PP environment, that is production planning. Bill of material is domiciled in in production planning. Routing is also domiciled in production planning. Production planning is also another module in SAP that cater for material resource planning, how the product is produced and all that. They cater for all those things. So that PP, again, you have to go and do a few customization in PP before you can create a bill of material. So to create a bill of material is to create is CS01. To create a bill of material, let's open another screen so that /OCS01. So the first thing it will ask you, you can see create bill of material. The first thing to ask you is what material do you want to create bill for? What material do you want to be or do you want to? So I say orange juice, right? Then it will ask me for usage. I'll put one. You can go inside and see what bill of material usage means. You can go inside and see, and you have to put validity. So I'm saying it is valid from 11/10/2024. This validity is very, very important here. So what usage do I want to? I'm using it's for production, not for plant maintenance, not for sales and distribution, it's for production. And that's why I'm selecting one, right? Now, validity from, so the material you are creating, when should it valid from? I'm saying it should valid from 11/10/2024. So I'll just go inside, I'll click enter, and it will bring me down to this environment where I will need to put what do you call it? I'll need to put the component that is let's say sugar. Yes, for I would say I've created sugar as a material in the system before now. So I can also put let's just say sugar. Let's just say we need sugar now. I've created sugar in the system before now. So quantity, how many quantity of sugar? Let me say maybe 10, and this is unit of material. That's what it means, like unit of material. I can say sugar is measured in kg. I can say kg, right? I can click enter. This again, like I said, is domiciled in PP environment, right? We are just doing it because of this training. We are just trying to, before you get to this place again, some certain thing must have been configured in the system as well, like I said. Yeah. So we are selecting uh stock item. We are selecting stock item, which is L. I'll just select this. So I've done one before. So this is how to create this is how to create. I'll just click enter. So this is how to, if I click on save now, it will go ahead and save. If I click on save now, it will go ahead and save. So I'll just click on save. So I'm trying to create, you can see, yeah. So let's check what we have done, /NCS03. So we have created a bill of material for orange juice. I'll just click enter. Right? We have created a bill of material for orange juice. We are saying this, the material that is required is sugar. Now I've not created a material called orange. I've just quickly created it, but because of time, I don't want to make this video to be so lengthy. So we could have just go ahead to create an orange and bill it as part of the thing that is required, as part of the material that is required to produce an orange juice, right? But I'll just show you the one we've done before. Like I said, I've done one before. Uh, so I'll show you for cake. So I created a material called cake, and I said it will require flour and sugar to produce a cake. I'm not taking all the material that is required to produce a cake, but I'm just assuming that these two materials is very important. So I just use these two materials just to demonstrate the what they call the product costing that I'm trying to do. Yeah, so this is validating the validity is from 9th of October and it will end in December, right? This is the validity. So this is the bill of material, right? So like I said, you need a bill of material. Yeah. So you put it will automatically pick the moment you pick. Let me go back. The moment you put the material you want to cost, it will automatically select the bill of material that was assigned, that has been assigned to. So I'm putting cake here now. Putting cake, and my plant is AD01 and PPC. All these things, let me go inside these things and show you one or two. So this is an important configuration in CO. This is an important configuration in CO that must be done before you can do a costing, before you can do product costing here. It's an important field and it needs carefulness and diligence in customizing or in configuring this environment here. So we have costing type, valuation variant, date control, all the things you see on that CK11N or CK14N. The controls are here. The controls are here. You talk about date control, you talk about valuation variant, you talk about costing type, all the controls, quantity structure, what quantity structure you want to use. I can click on all of them one by one and you begin to see the configuration, standard price, legal valuation. You know, these are basic things that is required that you need to just set up in the system before. I'll talk about valuation variants. You see, these are things, so you have to select current plan. So this valuation variant is talking about what this valuation variant is talking about. You can see valuation variant for plants. It's saying you want to set up you want to configure the system such that, look at, we're under material valuation. So you are saying if you want to pick anything, if you want to pick pricing on material, what should you look? So you can see the strategy sequence. You are saying you should go and look at your current plan price first. If there is value there, you should pick it and move forward. If there is no value there, you should go to standard pricing. Like I said, if you go to under material master, there's a place where you see, let's open another screen and show you the material master. So before, okay, the screen has opened, MM03. I'll just quickly go to sugar. I'll just go inside. I'll remove the storage location. I'll go inside. So let me go to accounting view. I think it's under costing 1 or 2, if I'm correct. Let me see. Plan price, valuation class. No, it should be accounting. 1 minute. It should be under accounting. Okay, so what we are talking about. So you see current plan price, standard price, moving average. So it will go under the material. It will go inside the material. The system will run through into the material and see if there is current plan price, standard price, or moving average. It will see anytime it sees any price there, it will take the price and use it as the valuation for the material. So we'll just show you that you can see moving average. You see moving average, standard price. So look at this moving average. And I told you that this environment we are showing you, what we are showing you currently is sugar. I'm displaying the material for sugar, and sugar is a raw material, not a finished product, and that's why we use V as the weighted average. V is the moving average, but it's also called weighted average, right? If you look at this moving average, you will look at the value, inventory value. You will look at standard price. If there is value there, you will pick it. If there is no value, you to move on. So this is how it will evaluate the material. You will go through the current plan price. That current plan price is under costing 2. Current plan price is under costing 2. That's where you see whether, because that's where you see the current plan price. Let me see. I'll also show you that. But that's what it means. Let me for cake. Let me show you the current plan price under costing 2. So it will come to this current plan price to come and look at the value, right? It will look at the plan price, standard price, and moving average, then it will evaluate. Activity type. Now, activity type is under activity, to create an activity in CO is under KL01. You create an activity with KL01 and you use KP26 to plan the to plan the what they call the activity, right? To put value to it. So if you go through, I don't want to make this video lengthy. I don't know. Let's just quickly show you KP26. I think plan price as average. So we selected plan price as average of fiscal year period. So KP26, yeah. So the version we are using is 0. We're using version 0. I've done one before, but I don't want to fiscal year from period 1 to 12. Fiscal year is 2024. Cost center, just pick one cost center. I'll go inside. Overview selection. It's telling me activity type. Okay, activity type. Let me say baking. So activity, baking is an activity, mixing is an activity. You know, I said we have done something for, does not exist. Okay. Okay, let me put this cost. Let me go inside and put a cost center. So you know, remember I said activity from the word activity. Activities are things that you do, right? So let me change this controlling area. There are things you do. Activity are things you do, right? So we have created to produce to produce a cake. To produce a cake, right? You need raw material like flour and sugar. Likewise, you need some activities are also done, meaning like you do baking of the cake, you do mixing of the raw material, you mix flour, sugar, and milk and some other things to eat, right? These are activities that are carried on, that are done, right, before you produce a cake. So these things are things you need to put in consideration before you say you are doing product costing. You must know the labor you talk about, do the person who is doing the mixing, the time it consumes in mixing it, the time it takes the person to mix those things, the hour it takes for the machine to bake the cake, the depreciation of the depreciation of the machine, you know, the overhead cost and all this cost, you must put them down before you can get a proper correct product cost here. So I'll just put no, GI production, right? Let me go inside. Does not exist. So the it does exist, but probably maybe at the time when we created the cost center, it doesn't exist. So I'll just change this. Okay, let me go inside again and look for a cost center. This KP26. Change activity type. Okay. I just want to show you some of these things. There are a lot of them. I'm going to screen by screen. You may not really understand all these things, but you need to just look at this video multiple times before you get it. So I want to just show you where we plan the what's happening. Center, let me see. Center does not exist. Okay, controlling area. I think we are. Oh, so the issue is that why it's saying it doesn't exist is because it's the controlling area we are using here. So we are supposed to set a controlling area. It's not seeing our cost center because okay, the controlling area is here. So let me go inside now. Or I go back and try again. Okay, type W cost center is not supported for. So the error here, the type W for cost center ADB is not supported for activity type. I understand what it's saying here. So this is not supported for the activity type we are trying to do here. So we'll go inside now. So it will just show us the what we have done before now. So the activity is mixing. We can mixing. Look at the activity. The activity is mixing or is baking. So we are saying we plan an activity of one. Put what do you call it here. So this is what we have done here. We are saying price fix is 100%. So this is what we have done here. You have to also allocate a cost element to it. A lot of configuration and a lot of setup is required before you get to this page. So I'm just showing you this part, the activity that we have done in the system. So how does how does the what they call it, the CK11N or CK14N evaluate the activity? So you have to do the setup here. You have to click plan price as average, and that's what I've shown you there. So subcontracting, we are not doing anything with subcontracting. Currently now we are not doing anything with overhead costing. There's something called overhead, which is costing sheet. There are other, we'll talk about this on another video. Yeah. So I'll go back. So date control. Date control is what actually controls the date on the front end side. So I will still show you start of next posting period. I'm saying my costing date should start from what? Next month. We are currently in October. My costing date will start from next month, which is November. So I'm saying maximum value. So it will take the maximum value, the maximum date available in the calendar. That is maybe 31, 12, 1999, or something, right? Now we are saying country structure to take the date from, if you remember when we went to the country structure, which is the routing here, you see the date, you should pick the date from, like you should say, let's say, um, like I showed you in what they call it in the bill of material, when we say the bill of material will take effect from date to so date. So that's just, these dates are very, very important setup as well. So then we talk about country structure. So country structure is also very important. You talk about the bill of material, because anything country structure, you talk about bill of material, which is this, and the routing as well. Talk about routing. So these are just the basic configuration. So it's this PPC, this costing variance is very, very important. It's very, very important to in costing. So, and as you can see, this is the, what they call it, this is the variant, because you need to put the variant at the point of doing your costing. So if I go inside now, I'll just look at this date. Okay, I'll click enter. So the date will come up because I've done the date before. We are saying cost date. I just showed you now in the date control under PPC1 that the date will start from November. I'm saying what I set up was that the date should start in November, and that's what this has picked. It has picked 01/11/2024, and you can see costing date 2. You can see it has picked maximum value. If you look at that PPC1 date control, you see I said maximum value, which is maximum date rather, which is 31/12/1999. So that's just what it means. And the country structure, again, like I said, it will have automatically picked the bill of material. But if it doesn't, you can always put your bill of material. Yeah, put your bill of material and the routing. It also pick your routing as well automatically. So I'll click enter again, and you see the bill of material, because I have okay. Let me see. It's not showing that. So, but look at it here now. Bill of material and the routing. We have created bill of material. The only thing I've not shown you is the routing, right? I've not shown you routing. I'll still show you that. So this is the environment where you do your costing. But a lot of setups must have been done before you get to this place. So I'll go back and just show you one or two configuration and the routing. I will also share you this Excel screen that demonstrates what we have done. So like I said, this Excel sheet is very straightforward. The first thing that needs to be done, note cost center needs to have been, because you must have defined a cost center, you must have defined an activity type. There are prerequisites that you need, right? Like that's why I said note when creating activity type, the cost center, categories, allocation, cost element, price indicator, all these things must be factored here. The second thing is creating a material. So you can check your material with MM02, or you create a material with MM01. And also the value price of activity, like before you even get to this place, you must have done KL01. Then you now do your price planning with KP26. Then you do your bill of material. To check your bill of material is CS03. But to create a bill of material is CS01. Routing, to check routing is CA03. But to see your routing, you can use CA01 to see your routing. Then you can come here to do your costing run, which is CK11N, or use CK40 for multiple run. Now, after you have done that, that does not mean it has worked. You also need to come and do CK24, which is marking and releasing. So it is called marking and releasing. Marking and releasing. Right? It is called marking and releasing. I'll share this Excel sheet. I'll share this Excel sheet, and I'll just it has some demonstration of what we have done, and I've used this to train someone before, so I'll just share this Excel sheet. So, but again, like I said, uh, creation of plants, creation of material code, creation of bill of material, creation of routing. These are domiciled in different modules. Material management is handling creation of material, and they're also handling creation of plants because configuration needs to be done before you get to that. So I'll just show you just some brief configuration that we did for us to be able to demonstrate this thing. So you go to enterprise structure, like we're assuming that we want to set up a new system for material management. Then you come to logistic general because you come to logistic and then define valuation level. This valuation level it's the topest of the hierarchy of material management. So you have to define this. Then you need to also define and copy. That's let me show you what this thing means. So this is where you define a plant, right? And we have done one for ourselves. So I've defined a plant for myself. I can define for you as well. So this is what I defined for myself. I can use it, copy and define one for, I think your is it TB, right? TB01. That is Balogun Tara. Balogun Tara's catering. So, gosh. I'll just put this and it will ask me to put all these things again. Then we do that. They are just normal basic things that you must have done before. I'll just leave all these things as well. I'll leave them as the same. Then I'll save it. So it will ask me for a new customization. I can just, okay, Tara Catering is already there. I think it's, or I can just say Tara MN config. I'll just save it. I'll click enter and it's come here and I'll just save. Until we are done with plants. So you now have a plant now. You have created a plant for yourself, right? And you also need to assign the plant. So validation level is it's generic, it's default. By default, must have you just need to select this. That's what it means. And so define location. Then you can close this environment and come to material management and do one or two. Like storage location is very important in material management. Then purchasing organization. Mind you, I did not show you that we have created before your material gets some value. Before the material gets some value, you must have procured the material. Before the material gets some value, you must have procured it. And to procure it, you must have maintained purchasing organization, you must have maintained storage location. So not to bore you with configurations here, there are a lot of configuration that has been done. A lot of them that has been done. So I'll just show you the purchase order we created. We have created some purchase order. So this is environment to create purchase order, but we have created one. So I'll just show you ME2N. 2N. I'll show you so I'll remove this. I've created purchase organization for myself. I'll just click enter and the plant. So I just want to see the purchase order that I've created. I'll just pick two of them. I created two, and you can see before your material, like I said, before your material gets some value, you must have done goods receipt. You must have done goods receipt before your material gets some value. And before you do goods receipt, you must have procured the material, right? So this is one of the PO 4500002207. So I can open another screen and I'll go to ME23N. So ME23N is to display and edit a purchase order. So I'll just click on purchase order. I'll say order purchase order. Then I'll put my purchase order 4500022. Let me see, 2207. I hope it sees it. So, and again, to create a purchase order, you must have created a vendor and all those things and all those things. Those things, a lot of things actually, a lot of things that we have done in the past. So I have a vendor which is 330 of PME. This is how I got my material. You must have created material before you even do purchase order. So this is the material, this is the sugar, and this is the quantity, and a lot of things. And I've done goods receipt actually. I've done goods receipt on this. If I come to purchase order history, which is this the item, so you see the goods receipt that I've done. I think I've not done invoicing. I've not done invoicing. That's my role. I've not done invoicing on this. I can also do that. So this is the goods receipt. You must have done goods receipt. You can go inside and see what the accounting entries that happens when you do goods receipt. You can double click it to take it to accounting information. I think the network is a bit poor. So to bring it down to this place, right? So this is the goods receipt we did. You come to document info, then you come to FI document. This is Migo. You do Migo. Migo is you debit the inventory, you debit sugar, you debit flour, and you credit a GRI account. So you can always double click any of these. The first one, which is account document, you double click it. So there you'll be able to see the entries that get passed. So you have two line item. We have raw material, cake. So what happens here is that we debit raw material. Okay, so we created a GL called 8130101 called raw material cake, and we created 231330 GRIR account clearing, and we have mapped it, and that's why, because you are not doing this thing manually. Let me just open on that screen and show you. Okay, I'll just show you the material, the GL we created and where we mapped it. So when you are doing goods receipts and invoice receipt here, you are not doing any manual configure, any manual postings. So the system automatically posts to those GL that you have mapped in the backend. So you can see we created raw material cake, and that's why you're seeing raw material cake here. So it's a raw material, and that's why you're seeing it here. But that's not where it ought to go to. We are supposed to create a GL, a standard GL called like saying raw material for cake, and that's why we say okay, we call it raw material for cake because there's no enough space to take it, and that's why if I double click it, you should see the details of the GL. So we say raw material for cake. So the raw material that is required for cake is coming. All the entries is coming to this place, and we also created a GRI account under liability. Under liability, we created a GRI account. So a GRI account is just the way it's a holding account. You can see GRI account is a holding account. So these are the entry that gets passed. So how do you how does the system post to this place? How does the system post this place? Let me just go there /n obyc. So obyc is an environment where the mm and the fi gets integrated. That's where we integrate, right? So one of them, I'll just show you one of them. Inventory, I'll just show you bsx. Now, so for bss, that's inventory posting. Inventory posting, you are saying for every inventory posting, I'm using my chart of accounts AD01. I'll go inside, then you see the valuation class, and mind you, the valuation class is mapped to the material master data. So it will pick the GL, it will pick the valuation class. So whenever you are posting a material that has a valuation class AD10, it will look at this environment and see the GL that you map, and it will post to that environment. That's what happens. So for finished product, which is AD90, because AD90 is a finished product valuation class, it will go and see the GL that was mapped to AD90, which is finished product. The law of things, this thing you cannot get it at once. I'm just rushing to ensure that you understand and get to see some of these things we have missed, or some of these things we have not talked about, to see them. The time was not enough to discuss all of this in lengthy, and so it's just you will be getting it over time. You get to understand these things over time, right? So this is how. So you map GL in obyc. So BSS inventory posting. If you want to do goods issue, goods receipt, invoice receipt, this is where you do some mapping here. So a lot of things are here, which maybe in other videos I'll talk about them in details. So in order not to bore ourselves with this lengthy video, I think it's better we stop here. Again, I've not talked about invoicing. I've not done invoicing on the exclusive, but invoicing is just part of the FI jobs. It does not relate with our product costing. Yeah. So not to say too much, I think we should call it. We should end the this video. If I have other time, we'll just show you. So we should end this video now. I think. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.